it's Destiny, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ashveil. And before we get into today's video, I'd love to know in version 4.1 or 4.2 which character you're the most excited for. And lastly, if you'd like to see more content from me, consider subscribing to the channel, leave a like to support today's video, and now let's get straight into it. For today's showcase, we're going to be using Ashveil alongside Feixiao, and we're also going to be using Heng and Tribbie. Let's just begin by using our techniques and get straight into this. And now with Heng, he'll also use his skill. With Heng, we're just going to attack the enemy that is marked as bait, which for those that are curious, the way to tell if an enemy is marked as bait is this little purple icon above their HP bar. All right, Tribbie's just going to use her ultimate real quick. Now Feixiao, we're going to use her skill. And now with Ashveil, we're going to use his ultimate on the enemy in the middle. There we go. And now this enemy in the middle is the new bait, and Ashveil will also gain 3 charges. These charges are consumed when an ally hits an enemy that is marked as bait. And as we can see, Ashveil just unleashed follow-up. And boom! So this enemy is almost a goner, and we're soon going to focus on the enemy onto the right. This enemy is just going to attack us, but this just results in some more energy for us. And now with Tribbie here, what we will do is just attack in the middle so we can attack the enemy to the right a bit as well as the enemy in the middle. Another cool perk is that when you attack an enemy that is the bait, Ashveil will gain 8 fixed energy. As you see, we just got Ashveil's ultimate after Feixiao used her skill. So what's really nice about this is if your team is able to frequently attack enemies, this will result in Ashveil gaining more and more energy, resulting in him being able to use his ultimate more frequently, and then from there you're going to be able to take advantage of his enhanced follow-ups more. So in this scenario, we only have 1 charge left, and what I want to do is we will likely have to use the Feixiao ultimate in order to finish off this enemy within the 0 cycle. So what I'm thinking is we're just going to attack with Ashveil and Heng, and I'm just going to get some more energy for the both of them. So there we go, more energy for Ashveil. Tribbie's going to come in with a follow-up, so some more energy for Ashveil once again, and now with Feixiao, we can attack. Letting the other characters on the team attack as well allowed Feixiao to get some more Flying Aureus going into this next wave as well. Since we're currently at 4, now Heng we can basic, Soul Dragon's going to come in, and now with Feixiao, we can use our skill. And now we can perfectly line this up to where Ashveil is going to break the war armor, get some more energy, and unleash his ultimate at the same time. Now the Tribbie follow-up, there we go. And with Ashveil, we could just skill. And now we will take a bit of damage, but this is fine. We have 2 charges with Ashveil. There we go. And now with Tribbie, what we're going to do is just basic. Another follow-up from Ashveil, and we already have enough energy here to use his ultimate once again. We're going to use his ultimate here on the spear, as we do need to get rid of these in order to further reduce Nikador's HP. So with Feixiao, I'm going to just target another sphere so we could just reduce the HP of them. There we go. Now the Ashveil follow-up. Another cool perk with Ashveil is that when the bait is on the field, all enemies' defenses will be reduced by 40%. So not only will the bait's defense be reduced by 40%, but so will all of the enemies on the field. This is very useful when you're targeting multiple enemies at a time, like I'm doing right now. And with Feixiao, I'm just going to deal some more damage to this spear right here. And there we go. We just want to reduce the HP of all of these spears, and hopefully we're going to be able to get rid of all of them within this cycle here. There we go. Advance forward Ashveil a bit. Also allow Feixiao to get enough Flying Aureus to use another ultimate. There we go. Another Tribbie follow-up. Now with Ashveil here, what we could do is just skill. We got rid of 1 so far. Now we'll get attacked, but we actually got enough energy here to use Ashveil's ultimate. And what's cool about Ashveil's ultimate is if we deal a killing blow to an enemy, like so, it'll actually transfer to the next enemy, like what we just saw. And there we go, 0% HP, so now we're on to the second HP bar. I believe we should be able to get the 1 cycle clear here. And what we're going to do with Heng is basic. Now Ashveil follow-up, Tribbie's skill, we do need to replenish the skill duration for the buffs. And with Feixiao, we can just keep attacking like so. With Ashveil, I will use my skill. Now we can use his ultimate right here. And Boom, there we go. Now Soul Dragon will come in. And now another follow-up. And what we're going to do is just use our ultimates here. So Don Heng ultimate, and then we can also use the Tribbie ultimate. We might be able to get this one cycle here. We're cutting it a little close, but I think we can do it. Tribbie advance forward. Feixiao now can use her ultimate once again. Let's see, is this enough damage? And bam! Oh no, it wasn't enough. Oh my gosh, it's just a little bit off. Okay, let's hit this one then. There we go. So only 2 remaining, and I'm hoping this will result in enough damage being dealt. Alright, so we're just trying to get rid of these last 2 here. With Feixiao, what I will do is just use her skill. There we go. And now only 1 remains, and we will be able to get Ashveil's ultimate here. Yeah, this is definitely cutting it really close here. So 24% HP. Come on, Ashveil, I believe in you. Alright. Oh, 10%? 8%? 7? Oh no, I think we're gonna be just a little bit off. Ah, that sucks. It was only 6% off. We definitely could have gotten the 1 cycle there. But regardless, it was really cool to see all the follow-up attacks with Feixiao and Ashveil. Now, if we were to take a quick look at the builds, here is my Ashveil for today. For his Lycone, we're using his signature, but here are some alternative Lycones that you can consider using for him. Trace is maxed out. For his relics, we're using City of the Converging Stars and the Ash Blazing Grand Duke set. For his Eidolons, he is E0. I've not activated any of these, as you all can see. For Feixiao, here she is. We do have the signature Lycone. Trace is maxed out. Relics, we're just using Duran Dynasty and Wind Soaring. And for Eidolons, we are E0. If we did have an E2 Feixiao, we definitely could have gotten that 1 cycle clear. Potentially also even a 0 cycle clear, since E2 Feixiao is quite a powerhouse. So that maybe could have been a possibility. And then here is Don Heng. Trace is maxed out. Relics, we're just using Lushaka and the Self-Enshrouded set. And then for his Eidolons, he is E0. Tribbie, same thing. We have her here. The stats on Tribbie and Don Heng could definitely be better, but it is okay. We just have Dance 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 on Tribbie so she can advance for the team. And we also have E0 Tribbie. If we had E1 Tribbie, definitely could have gotten that 1 cycle, potentially maybe even a better clear than that. But I wanted to keep every character in this showcase E0, and he's definitely a very fun character for the follow-up playstyle, and I will also be showcasing him with different follow-up centric characters, as well as also trying main DPS Ashveil. But I just wanted to try him out with Feixiao. We definitely could have gotten that 1 cycle clear, especially with how close we were to getting it. But overall, Ashveil is a pretty fun character in my opinion. And real quick, I wanted to also just go over some perks that Ashveil has that I may have not been able to mention during the showcase. For one of Ashveil's traces, when he is on the field, the crit damage dealt by allies will increase by 40%, and the crit damage dealt by allies' follow-up attacks will increase by an additional 80%. And when it comes to Ashveil's charge mechanic, when he uses his ultimate, he will gain 3 charges. These charges will allow Ashveil to unleash his follow-up attacks, and the way to trigger his follow-up attack is when Ashveil has charges, and all you need to do is attack an enemy with one of your other characters. Additionally, since Ashveil will regenerate a fixed amount of 8 energy whenever Fate is attacked by an ally, this will be really good for Ashveil to get more and more energy so that he can use his ultimate more frequently. I would say when it comes to his general value, now I have said this before, but if you are saving for Elation and 4.2 with the new Silver Wolf and Evanescia, then 4.1 may end up being a skip patch for you. But for those that have heavily invested in their follow-up team, Ashveil can be a nice option. I do think we may eventually get a new follow-up attacker in the future, or even just a new follow-up centric character, which will likely synergize nicely with Ashveil, but we'll just have to wait and see regarding that. And I also have a poll recommendation video on my channel if you'd like to check that out to know more of my thoughts when it comes to Ashveil's banner, Hyacinth's banner, Boot Hill's banner, and so on. Well, I'd love to know what you all think about Ashveil if you'll be pulling. And that'll be all for today's video. If you did enjoy, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support today's video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.